In this episode, Dr. Andrew Huberman talks about caffeine. It's one of the most widely used substances, for good reason. In this episode, he lays out some amazing health benefits, some biohacks that you can use to improve your life. Let's get to it. As always, I highly suggest if you have the time, listen to the entire episode on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Caffeine has been proven to improve reaction time, physical performance, improve memory recall, and help you be more alert. And there's even evidence that it can help with depression. So caffeine increases the efficacy and dopamine receptors in the reward pathways of the brain, which basically means it makes things that feel good feel even better. Caffeine doesn't technically make you more awake, it just shuts down part of your brain that makes you feel sleepy. My biggest takeaway was don't consume caffeine within the first 90 minutes upon waking. The idea is that you want to bottom out what's known as adenosine after waking up. Since caffeine blocks this, you need to avoid it as soon as you wake up, and then you'll avoid that 2 p.m. crash that a lot of people suffer from if they drink coffee as soon as they wake up. Now, the prescription is to try to only consume 1 to 3 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. But remember, everyone is going to be different. Now, whether you think it's happening or not, caffeine is going to disrupt your sleep if you take it in the afternoon. And you need to remember that caffeine has a quarter life of 12 hours. So if you're planning on going to sleep at 10, make sure you don't ingest any caffeine after 10 a.m. You can also offset that caffeine jitteriness with 100 milligrams of theanine. Now, there's also a couple myths surrounding caffeine. Myth number 1, no, caffeine does not cause osteoporosis. Myth number 2, caffeine also does not decrease testosterone, but it doesn't increase it either. The data is pretty inconclusive. Now, there's also a molecule found in certain caffeinated beverages like yerba mate that has a ton of possible health benefits, good for weight loss, mental performance, and controlling blood sugar levels. Now, one cool tip if you want to supercharge your performance is to abstain from using caffeine for 5 days prior to your event. This will make it so that when you consume caffeine on the 6th day, the effects of the caffeine will be supercharged. Taking caffeine after learning something will also greatly enhance your memory for that information. The idea is that we want to increase adrenaline. So you could also just take a cold plunge, a cold shower, or do an extremely intense bout of exercise. And caffeine does a similar thing to that. Another tip he talks about is hitting that like and subscribe button. Now, if you have any problems with working out consistently, try this. Taking caffeine before working out increases dopamine and triggers a more pleasant mental response to exercise, making you want to do it again. However, you do need to remember, don't abuse this. You are just trying to create a new habit of exercising. You don't want to create a dependency or create an unreasonable tolerance to caffeine. So this is another tip in general. Let's say you're trying to pick up a new habit. Take caffeine with that activity. The increase in dopamine is going to make you want to perform that activity in the future. The inverse is also true. Caffeine can actually ingrain bad habits as well. So don't ingest caffeine during activities or habits that you're trying to break. Now, one of the most rational protocols based on the research is taking caffeine every other day. And one way to reinforce this is, let's say you work out every other day, take caffeine before your workout every other day. Some studies have even linked caffeine use with a less likely probability of developing Parkinson's disease and possibly Alzheimer's-related dementia. Caffeine can also provide brief but substantial relief from asthma. And combining caffeine with aspirin can actually help relieve headaches than just aspirin alone. He also has a little bit on decreasing sugar cravings by increasing fatty acid intake or also supplementing with L-glutamine. And that's it. See you in the next one.